What's up, y'all? I want to know if this thing is working or not because I'm actually using a different computer. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know how's it working now, So I guess the best thing, I guess y'all can tell me if you can hear me and you can see me. And while you see me, is there any buffering going on? Is my audio cracking bad or what? This is another another PC that I'm using. So y'all let me know how everything is. All right, is everything good? Let me know. All right. So you can hear and see me. All right, cool. I feel rusty, because I ain't been live in a minute. But y'all know I ain't been live, just work. All right, so y'all say y'all can hear me, y'all can see me. So hey, we're gonna get right into it. I didn't get a chance to share this out, y'all, because I tried to do this earlier, man, but time just caught up with me. So, I'm gonna try to do this. Try to give you much as my analyst as I can. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are again, doing a story about a young child. Y'all know I call them young men, young ladies. Some people don't like that, but hey, it is what it is. We have another precious baby who's no longer with us, and this baby by the name is Wynter Cole. All right. A lot of y'all have been sending me this story, but again, I apologize. Just work. I just wasn't able to get to it. But however, though, I got a little time right now. But let me ask y'all a question though. This story sounds similar to Sequoia. The one down here in Memphis. For the details I read on, it sounds similar to the story that just recently happened down here in Memphis. Okay. What's going on here? To catch everybody up, what's going on here? Oh, well, let me say for what I gathered from the story. You have a guy by the name of Rashad Trice. All right. Right now, they say he's been officially charged. They said Rashad Trice, this is what he did, and this story is coming out of Detroit. Man. He attacks Wynter's mom in Lansing. If I said that right. Lansing, however you say it. He's 26 years old, and I always tell y'all it's these young guys and these young women who's doing this to their children. I already told y'all, so there shouldn't be no surprise. He is accused of stabbing, sexually assaulting his 22-year-old ex-girlfriend at her home and then kidnapping 2-year-old daughter. Well, here's the thing now. I think I've seen a lot of discrepancies, people saying about the daughter part. This is not his daughter. This is not his daughter. As a matter of fact, the dad has came out and spoke. He was arrested around 5 a.m. on Monday, July the 3rd in St. Clair Shores. After Amber Alert was issued, police spotted the Chevrolet Impala he stole from his ex-girlfriend and eventually took him into custody after a short chase. Wynter still has not been found. Okay, at the time, she still was not found. Trice was arraigned in the hospital as he recovered from injuries suffered when he crashed, according to authorities. All right, so this is just going back to the beginning. All right, this is going back to the beginning. So now, what we are here today, guys, they have found the body of this young, beautiful baby, and as always, it's sad to hear when this stuff happens. Amen. So rest in heaven to this young girl. And guys, let's get into it. Let you hear all this. And hey, what can I say? A lot of y'all asked the question, why they do this, why they do that. Hey, I don't have the answers, and they don't have the answers either. They just some evil ass controlling people. Women and men. All right, guys, let's get right into it. All right. And this is a new setup, so y'all forgive me now if it's looking kind of awkward. This is a new setup background. Let's get it.
We begin tonight with breaking news. It's devastating news. The search for the little girl kidnapped from Lansing appears to have reached a tragic end.
During their search, police officers found a body on Detroit's east side believed to be 2-year-old Wynter Smith. She's the little girl who has been the subject of the Amber Alert. Fox News' Dave Kinchin is there now. And Dave, this is not the news anyone wanted to hear.
Yeah, absolutely devastating. We were hoping and praying that this was not the result, but tragically that's what we're looking at right now. And we're here in the corner of Nodell and Irwin Streets, and the scene is actually a few blocks down on Irwin there, and there's a whole... So we got a major scene here, but we know that there's a press conference happening in Lansing while investigators, including the FBI, are working here. Let's send it back to you so we can get to officials in Lansing talking about the investigation there.
Obviously, a lot of moving pieces right now. Let's take a look at what's happening in Lansing right now as they are about to brief the media on this case.
Yeah, we'll take you there now.
And all neighboring law enforcement jurisdictions have spent endless hours on this investigation and for helping find Wynter. The community support and civilian volunteers who put their lives on hold to find Wynter should also be recognized and known for their efforts that they helped us in their search to bring Wynter home. Finally, I want to acknowledge the media, you all, who helped us keep the public informed with accurate information and share messages on how our communities across the state of Michigan could help. Moving forward, please continue to forward any new information, any digital evidence, any witnesses, witness statements, or any other pertinent information to the Lansing Police Department or the FBI tip line. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Lansing police basically thanking all of the agencies that helped in this case. But the sad news that we're bringing to you right now is the fact that it appears that search for little Wynter Smith has ended in a field in Detroit over there at Irwin and Nodell. Sadly, this happening about a couple of hours ago. We first got word, of course, from Detroit police that they had found a body, later confirmed from sources, including, we believe, the FBI, that said indeed a body was found.
And this wasn't far from where the suspect, Rashad Trice, was arrested earlier this week. But right now, we're going to head back now to Dave Kinchin for a full report from the scene and what he's learned from police there.
Yeah, this is a very active, fast-moving investigation scene here. The scene actually a few blocks down on Irwin here. Detroit police keeping us far back. What we understand, it was Detroit police that found the body of this little girl called an angel by her family. The bright smile, how smart she was, how lovely she was. She lit up the lives of so many of her family members. They were hoping and praying, and tragically, this is what we're dealing with right now. Her body found, this is confirmed by multiple sources, found in an alleyway on Irwin Street, a few blocks down from where we are here. Investigators are working this scene. We saw FBI evidence response teams going door to door, trying to find out as much information as they can. We got the call, I would say, around maybe 7:30 or so. We actually just wrapped up an interview with the group Black and Missing, a group that works nationally to heighten the exposure of missing persons. And just as soon as we got off the phone with them, a Zoom interview, we get this horrible news. And we've got several Detroit police units here. We understand there's going to be some sort of an update by Assistant Chief Fitzgerald, so we're waiting on that. And of course, they're likely waiting on the remarks from officials in Lansing. The FBI has been taking the lead on this case the entire time. They were pinging pinging cell phones and doing other high-tech digital investigative techniques. And certainly when it comes to Rashad Trice, the suspect in this case, who had, after an altercation, a violent altercation, according to investigators, with Wynter's mother, he had allegedly stolen a car and then driven from Lansing all the way down, eventually ending up in St. Clair Shores. But you saw how the FBI out of Detroit, the Detroit field office, put out that map detailing that travel route, and they can use several different techniques to do that, including pinging a cell phone, looking at towers to see at various points where he was going. And so what we understand is investigators were actually retracing those steps. The family actually was doing the same thing. They had their own separate search effort going on in Lathrop Village, but we understand that was taking place, and that's what led sources, investigators, to this area, Irwin, on the east side, where the remains of this 2-year-old girl, Wynter Cole Smith, were found. So again, we're waiting for an update from the scene here from the Assistant Chief Fitzgerald at the Detroit Police Department, and you can just see how heavy this is on investigators on the scene. Everybody had hope that this would not be the result, but this is tragically what we're dealing with right now. You outlined the charges that Trice is facing. Investigators we talked to early on say that while he's been held under security at a hospital recovering from injuries that he sustained after crashing into a St. Clair Shores police car during efforts to escape, according to sources there, he's been at a Detroit area hospital, but Lansing police have been guarding him, and we were told by sources that he wasn't talking, at least early on, about any of this at all. Very frustrating for investigators, for seasoned investigators who work on these types of horrible cases, and you can only imagine the anguish and the frustration of the family. They haven't had any sleep since all of this happened. But again, where we are now on Irwin Street, Detroit's east side, multiple units here from Detroit Police, the FBI evidence unit. They've been going door to door. They're trying to piece together as much of this as they can. They're looking for video. They're trying to talk to witnesses. They want to see if anybody saw anything that looked out of the ordinary as all of this took place here. But we understand the remains, Wynter Cole Smith, her body found in an alleyway here. There was one woman on social media who actually we reached out to try to find more information. She said she can't believe this happened right behind her house. So we're hoping to hear from her and find out
right
more
behind
about
her house.
what she saw. But for now, we'll send it back to you. Reporting live on the east side, Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, lots to piece together here. You mentioned that map that investigators are looking at, taking a look at the route from Lansing to St. Clair Shores. You look at Detroit, you look at that area, you wonder about those doorbell cams if somebody does have one up over there, because that's going to be very telling about that white car that he was in, and tracking that car on what day this may have happened, leading to this sad ending. It's going to be critical to check that out.
Yeah, no doubt. Ring doorbell cameras, also surveillance cameras from off of Van Dyke, from the side streets, any kind of cameras that they can find, businesses, any government buildings, that sort of thing, any warehouses. They're going to, it's a full court press for investigators. They leave no stone unturned. They do everything they can to try to find out every piece of video, every piece of evidence they can find. Even if a car might have any surveillance cameras on it, they look and they want to piece all of that together.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. Key part of this.
And Dave, the desperation that this suspect had shown after allegedly stabbing that little girl's mom, moving on, and then, as we talked about, crashing with that St. Clair Shores cop, also trying to grab a gun. Clearly, this man is not well at all and was exhibiting all kinds of signs of desperation and other things as well when he was first caught.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, hang on. We got something coming up here. Stay with me, guys. We might have an update. Excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead. Dave Kinchin, Force Live.
A-L-S-K-I.
Is he an I-N or an O-N?
He is a Devin I-N. Yeah, D-E-V-I-N. He's the acting special agent in charge. Do you want me to hold that? Okay. For the FBI Detroit field office. We'll be giving some remarks. With him will be Chief White from the Detroit Police Department, and I will get the names of the two Lansing folks that are here with us tonight. So we're kind of waiting for Lansing PD to be done. It'll be a short statement. Just given the situation, we're not going to take any questions. Jordan and I may hang out just to answer things that we can. So
Right now you're listening to
are we
the
all ready?
FBI
You guys
spokesperson who is getting ready for a news conference, briefing the media, talking about who will be
All right.
present at that news conference.
Okay.
Dave Kinchin will be standing by for that news conference. The FBI not expected to take questions. Chief White also not expected to take questions. There is the head of the FBI right there about to address the media.
My name
Let's
is Devin
listen in.
Kowalski. I'm the acting special agent in charge of our field office here in Michigan. DEVIN-KOWALSKI. I want to thank Chief White for being here, standing shoulder to shoulder with us, along with members of the Lansing Police Department and my team. At approximately 6:50 p.m. this evening, the body of Wynter Cole Smith was recovered by FBI agents. This is not the outcome we were hoping for, and our hearts go out to Wynter's family. Based on information developed throughout this investigation, our teams were searching multiple areas across the state over and over again, and then specifically in the area adjacent to where we're standing. Our evidence response team is currently processing the scene. Our best people are back there to do what is necessary to be as respectful as possible to Wynter and her family. This will be a thorough and deliberate crime scene investigation. It will take time to carefully collect evidence that we need to help bring the person responsible to justice. We want to thank the community for all their assistance in this investigation. I know that you in the media and in the community are anxious for information, and we are sensitive to that. But we'd ask you to understand that we cannot provide further information about the investigation because we want to put our best foot forward and preserve the integrity of the prosecution. Law enforcement agencies across this region and members of our community have been working on this for several days, relentlessly. And I want to thank members of the Lansing Police Department, the Grosse Pointe, the St. Clair Shores Police Department, East Point Police Department, Ingham County Sheriff's Office, Detroit Police Department, and members of the FBI Detroit Field Office. And thank you to the community who have continued to help look for Wynter and prayed for the family during this difficult time. Please continue to keep the family in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you.
Yeah, Chief White, along with the head of the FBI, they're not taking questions, talking about a very sad day here in the city of Detroit and across the state. Around 6:50 p.m., the body of Wynter Smith, a little 2-year-old who had been missing since Sunday night, found in an alley at Irwin and Nodell. Tight-lipped, Taryn, because the FBI says they want to preserve the prosecutor's case in this particular instance. They don't want to tip their hat to any more evidence.
And we know that police agencies, several of them, including the FBI, Lansing Police, Detroit Police, have been working very hard, taking the tips and trying to track down where this little girl may be. Turns out where the body of the 2-year-old was 11 miles from where that suspect was arrested on Monday. They're right now trying to connect the dots as they continue to investigate and bring us the latest details. But we want to share how this really came together, because this came just hours after the man accused of kidnapping her was formally charged with stabbing and sexually assaulting Wynter's mother. 26-year-old Rashad Trice, that man, was arraigned from his hospital bed this afternoon, charged as a violent habitual fourth offender. He's also facing home invasion and unlawful imprisonment charges. Trice was arrested in St. Clair Shores after leading police on a chase that reached up to speeds to 100 miles an hour. He was held without bond and earlier this afternoon was refusing to give information about where Wynter was.
And of course, now, sadly, this has ended in Detroit on the city's east side, right there at Nodell and Irwin streets, where neighbors, residents in that area sadly saw Detroit police discover that that's where the body of little Wynter Cole Smith was found. Sad day here in Detroit. Stay with Fox 2 as we bring you the latest developments in this case. You can read our full coverage right now with updates on fox2detroit.com. We'll be right back.
All right, so our friends at Fox 2 Detroit with some incredible coverage and reporting there. Dave Kinchin in the field as well, as FBI and Detroit police confirming that that body of that 2-year-old little girl, Wynter Smith, was in fact Wynter Smith. And so if you're familiar with the state of Michigan, Southeast Michigan in particular, this is a large swath of land for the investigation, both from Lansing there in the state capital, all the way to Detroit as well, where this unfortunately ended in such a very, very tragic culmination there. So our folks at Fox 2 in Detroit doing some incredible reporting on this story, and we're going to stay with it if we find out any more details. But like I said, there, Wynter Smith, and it will be interesting to see whether or not Smith's mother's boyfriend there, Rashad Trice, will cooperate with investigators. Remember, he was arraigned, like Fox 2 said, from his hospital bed, rather, for a number of different charges related to the disappearance of Smith. So just a very, very sad story to report.
You know, that's a lot to take in right there. That's really a lot to take in. First and foremost, before I say anything, if y'all don't mind, please hit that like button for your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who've been following me for quite some time, we talk about this over here a lot, about letting people around your children, not just people from the outside, but you know, there's people within the family as well, which I still believe at this point, family members are the worst ones. Hell, family members are the worst one, period, when it comes to you, because a lot of them don't have the best interest for you. All right? And have I not always say, when it comes to people like this, if they can't hurt you enough, what they're going to do? They're going to go to the next thing that you love the most, and that's 9 times out of 10, your children. All right? But here's a question I want to ask. And I'm pretty much sure a lot of you are going to say, I've had this happen before. But I'm going to go ahead and ask anyway. How many times that you had a girlfriend and you get a bad vibe about the company she keeps around, and you as a friend try to tell her something about him ain't right? I just feel it in my gut and in my bone. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Something about him or her ain't right. You do this as a friend. You try to tell him your gut feeling. This is how you feel. What do you get a lot of times? You get snapped on. Amen? You get snapped on. They will go off on you as if you did something wrong. Okay? And that's something I never understood. Even if a guy comes to them and say, hey, you know, something about that I ain't feeling, man. I mean, I'm getting vibes, body language, man. Something about this dude, man. I ain't feeling it, you know. Yeah, I'm seeing red flags, you know. Even me, you get cussed out. Because for some reason they feel like you're trying to tell them what to do. You're trying to control their life and this like that. And it ain't nothing like that at all. There's nothing wrong with you telling people how you feel about an individual, not only for your safety, but for your child's safety. But a lot of us get snapped on. We do. And as a friend, a lot of times you keep trying to tell them, you know, because you like this man, hey, you know, I'm going to keep on saying something until you register in your head. But when does it come to a point that even you as the friend have to say, you know what, I tried. You won't listen. So, hey, I'm going to step out of it. So this is what you do. You step out of it. But then right down the road, who's calling you about their problems? Your friend is. They calling you about their problems with this person that you just got through talking to them about. At that point right there, when they start calling you about the problems, what do you do? What do you do? Do you have the conversation? Or I guess a better question would I ask, would you be wrong and tell them, I tried to have this conversation with you. You snapped at me. I ain't got nothing else to say. Or for the sake of the child, you had this conversation. And then after that, if anybody can answer the question, when do you as a friend says enough is enough? Because if you constantly telling me about your problems, then that means you're getting tired. If you're getting tired, why won't you just walk away? Anybody? Why won't you just walk away? Now, I don't know the whole story between this woman and this man. I don't. But I'm pretty much sure it's going to come out. And guys, and the ladies, this is why I tell y'all, and I say it to the fellas too, this is why I tell y'all need to start being careful who you bring around your children. As I read up on some more of this dude, check this out. He is charged with assault with intent to murder, first-degree home invasion, unlawful imprisonment, aggravated domestic violence, second offense, unlawful driving away of an automobile, felonious assault, and 2 counts of first-degree criminal sexual assault. And I'm almost guaranteed this ain't the first time he's done it. Then as I read on him more, he is charged as a violent habitual fourth offender. Additional charges linked to Wynter's disappearance are possible pending the rest of the investigation. I'm sure this is not the first time he has done this. He has showed this behavior before. All right, am I wrong? I'm sure he's shown this behavior before. Now, if you want to stay with him, I guess nobody can't do nothing about that. But what about the safety of the baby? That's my main focus. What about the safety of the baby? Just a couple of weekends ago, I went to work, and I help a lady who's bedridden. And I go there at nighttime. I can't put out nobody's name, so I'm not going to do that. I knocks on the door. I didn't hear nobody. So the door was unlocked. I walked right on in because they got a camera light pretty much right there at the door you walk on in. I walk in. I see this little girl who I seen before at the house. She's up the stairs. I said, hey. I said, anybody here? She said, no. I said, wait a minute. I said, nobody's here with you. She said, no. I said, baby, nobody's upstairs is with you up there. Nobody's up there with you. She smiled, said, no. I said, okay, that this is odd, because I'm still a new person there working with this lady here, I mean, I don't know what's going on with this picture right here. So the guy who stays there, he came in, probably like 15 minutes later, he came in. And I asked him, I said, did you know she was up there by herself? And nonchalantly, he said, well, to me, it was nonchalantly. He said, yeah. And I just looked at him like, are you kidding me? Mouth just fell to the floor because I talk about this a lot. And the fact that I'm actually in this situation, someone like that, I was just stunned. And the nonchalantness and the attitude, I'm just like, I would think you as a young man would probably even think that. But then again, this is a young man. So I guess he's not thinking like that. I don't know what the relationship that he had with the young lady, but I'm just like, what have I walked into when I saw that? Now, I haven't seen it again since then, but the fact that I seen it, period. And I'm saying to myself, I could go to my job with it, but what can they really do about it? What can they really do about it? Now, I haven't had a chance to talk to none of the girls who stayed there and ask them about that. You know, because I really want to know. You know, is this an often thing that whoever that young girl was that was there that day, do y'all leave her at the house like that knowing that you got somebody coming to y'all shit late night like that? And apparently the baby's used to it, the way she smiled. The way she smiled, it's as if she was used to it. I thank God that I don't have the mindset that I look at children like that. But just imagine if I did. Just imagine if I did. So guys, please understand where I come from when I say stuff like that. Or where your friends are coming from when they try to speak to you in situations like that. That is nothing to take lightly. All right, letting people around your children. That's nothing to take lightly. You know, and I just seen somebody say that would have been my last night at that place right there. And you know what? Whoever just said that, and I'm trying to keep on the story, you know, because when I look at the chat room, I get distracted sometimes. And you know what? I felt the same way you felt. And trust me, I'm still kind of feeling that way. You know, because after that, I really don't want to go there no more. I really don't. But, you know, hey, I got to make my living too. But, you know, just that right there, you know, I'm in a really just need, I want to talk to them about that, you know. Y'all need to put me somewhere else because if something happens, everybody going to be looking at me. And I don't want to be put up in that situation if that happens again. I mean, it haven't happened again. But still, if you did it the first time, knowing that I was going to come there, then I know 9 times 10 it's going to happen again. All right? And again, and if something happens, everybody going to be looking at me. And I ain't did shit. So to be put in this situation, I probably do need to talk to them and say, hey, take me off that case and put me on another one. I ain't got time for this shit. I don't. I really don't. I love children. I really do. I really do. But it was 2 things I was thinking about. That lady, she needed my help because she's bedridden, which is their mom. She's bedridden. I know she needed help. So that's one of the reasons why I stayed there, because I know she needed my help. And that I did. But it's just an awkward feeling to be put in this situation. It was. So now that it has officially somewhat happened to me, I can more so speak on situations like these. All right? I can speak on it. So take it from somebody who was kind of somewhat in that situation, nothing violent, but just be placed in a home where a young lady was there by herself, a child was there by herself with a strange man who she's seen come over there a couple of times before, but you never been over there with this man alone, you know, the awkwardness that it was. But again, to whoever said that in the chat room, they said it would have been my last night. I promise you, my mind is still stir crazy about that. I need to talk to them and see about them finding me somewhere else to go. As I continue with this story, it's something else that I picked up on too. And it makes me question a little bit. The dad spoke out. And I'm going to let y'all hear it. And if I heard it right, and some of y'all in the chat room could tell me. They said something about this man had conversation with this dude, or he's supposed to allegedly know him in a sense or something. I don't know. But that really piqued my interest when they say the dad spoke to him. That was really interesting when I heard that. Because you don't hear most stories that the dad speak to the perpetrator or somebody that done something to their child. You don't really hear that too often. But when I heard that, you know, I'm like, okay. So what is the connection between the dad and him? Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to put nothing on nobody. I don't not blame nobody for anything. But it's just one of them many stories that, one of the unusual stories that I heard, that the dad actually have a conversation with the perpetrator, you know, and he said he told him, don't play with my daughter and this, then, and the third. I'm like, I don't know if I have any words for the dude. My thing would be, you know, I'm looking for this motherfucker. I ain't got no words for him. You know, I'm looking for him, but then maybe I'm wrong, you know. I don't know, but I will let y'all hear it, though.
As a desperate search continues for 2-year-old Wynter Smith, her father is making an emotional plea to bring his little girl home. And you'll hear from him in just a moment, but we want to first update you tonight on today's developments in the case. Thanks for being with us for the News at 6. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Karen Drew, in for Devin Skillion tonight. The man accused of kidnapping Wynter was formally charged today from his hospital bed. 26-year-old Rashad Trice faces several charges, including assault with intent to murder, criminal sexual conduct, and home invasion in connection to an attack on the child's mother. Now, he was arrested Monday after a chase in St. Clair Shores. However, there's still no sign of Wynter Smith tonight. Victor Williams live on the story for us. And Victor, you talked to Wynter's father about a conversation that he had with the man accused of kidnapping his little girl. Tell us more.
Yeah, that's right. And we'll get to more on that in just a
Okay, so I did hear right. He had
second, but as you can imagine, this man's world is just turned upside down because of all of this. He says the only thing that he wants right now is his baby girl.
Every morning, I wake up, instantly look at my phone. I see her, and then I look at the other bed in the room, and she's not there.
A.J. Smith can't believe his daughter, 2-year-old Wynter Cole Smith, is still missing without a trace.
Driving here, I'm looking in the back seat, I'm looking in the rearview mirror, looking in the back seat. She's still not there, and it's not right.
AJ is here all the way from Tennessee, where he plays football at UT Martin to help with search efforts. The man who's accused of kidnapping Wynter was just arraigned on 8 charges in connection to Wynter's abduction, along with the brutal sexual assault and stabbing of Wynter's mother.
We never really talked. It was just me letting him know, don't play with my family. Don't play with my daughter. Like,
what AJ can't wrap his mind around is why Trice didn't take his own biological son instead of Wynter.
Why my daughter? Like, why take her?
Despite the charges, Trice's mother believes he's totally innocent.
I say my son don't have nothing to do with that baby.
You stay with him, you raised him, you know his tendencies, you know his jealousness.
Either way, AJ just wants to be reconnected with his daughter, who he says has an extremely bright future.
I just want her. She got her whole life ahead of her, and for it to be taken so quick, I hope it didn't. I just want her to be found. I want her to be with me, and that's it.
And remember, the FBI is offering a $25,000 reward for anyone who has information that can lead to Wynter's whereabouts. If you know anything at all, you can contact them at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Victor Williams, Local 4.
So hard to fathom what AJ is going through. Of course, we'll be keeping everyone updated on this story. Victor, we appreciate it.
All right, first of all, let me say this. Okay, I got a better understanding what he was saying. Now, he was saying that I guess that he know since she's dating this dude, you know, he was just telling her, hey, all I got to say to you, man, don't play with my daughter, play with my family. You know, other than that, I ain't got nothing to do with what you and her got going on. So I think that's where he would come from on that. So that was my miscue on that. But check this out. Didn't I tell y'all that the family members do that shit? Did I tell you they do that? Okay, this man is sit up there and a woman claimed that this man did all of that. And what happens now? I told y'all, family members don't want to make their children look bad in front of the camera. They don't want to make their children look bad in the news. What the mom say, she feel like he ain't got nothing to do with it. Are you serious, ma'am? All this stuff that they saying that this boy has done, even crashed into a car. He's in a hospital. Okay, so what do you think went on then? Why you think he did all that? Okay, why you think he did all that? Unless he doing it for showing sportsmanship, in which I doubt it. You know what I mean? He's stupid, but is he really that stupid? And this is what I'm telling y'all. It happens every time. When a family member child gets in trouble, they water it down and try to say, I don't think they had nothing to do with it, or try to water it down, try to make it seem like it's not as bad as the news or the public is putting it. And I'm getting sick and tired of this shit. It's only one story I've done where the mom actually called out her child and said she's the devil. And I'll give that lady name. That girl name who did it to her child. The one that they found the boy body in the deep freezer. And the mom got out there and said, that's not my daughter. That's the devil up in there. And I shouted her out for that. But nobody wants to not just even say just making somebody look bad. Just call out the truth. This is what he did. Okay? So now what? So they come out and got all the evidence to say he did this, he did that. Then why? You still gonna sit up there and tell the people, I don't think he did this. I don't think it had nothing to do with it. I'm sick of that. I really am. I'm sick of that. Then fourth offense. He's a habitual fourth offender. He is charged as a violent habitual fourth offender. And the mom says, what now?
Why take her?
Despite the charges, Trice's mother believes he's totally innocent.
I say my son don't have nothing to do with that baby.
You stay with him.
Somebody help me. What am I missing? Your son is a habitual fourth offender. Habitual. Not this a one-time thing. He's a habitual offender. You don't think your son had nothing to do with that baby? I gotta hear that one more time.
He's totally innocent.
I say my son don't have nothing to do with that baby.
You stay with him.
And he says,
You raised him. You know his tendencies. You know.
Thank you.
His jealousness.
Thank you. Couldn't have said it better myself. This your son. You raised him, or you know how he was raised. You know his tendencies. He's outrageous. You know pretty much how many times he got locked up. Cause I'm pretty much sure you probably the one that bailed him out every time he probably got locked up. But when it comes to the child, you don't believe he did it. I mean, people would go as far as you allow them access to. People will only go as far as you allow them to. What's the old saying goes? I give you an inch, you take a mile. Amen? If you give them access to go their mile, they're going to take it. If you give them the leeway to take that mile, they're going to take it. This man had access to all of that, to the mom and the daughter. He was given an inch, and he took quite a few miles because he had access to it, and the door was open for him to do it. And I'm not doing it trying to blame the mom for anything. I'm not. But just look at the bigger picture, though. He had access to do all of this. He had an open door to do all of this. Did I see somebody in the chat room say that the mom did survive? Did she survive the attack? I thought I saw somebody say she survived the attack. And I hope she did. And if she did, I hope she does come out and speak. And when she does come out and speak, hopefully she'll be truthful about him and her. Because I would like to know, how long were they together? I would like to know. And I guaranteed you, like I said earlier, this is not his first time doing this to that girl. It's not. Is it his first time going that far? Could be, possibly. But he probably was abusing this woman already. And shit just got out of control that it leaked over to the baby. And now the baby is gone. I can imagine anybody who's in the chat room right now, even me, that the cops pull up to your home or your residence, goes to your backyard, and see a body has been found. Hell, not just the backyard, but around your yard, period, around your home, period, that a dead child body is found. I probably would faint if something like that happened to me. So whoever the person they say that's on social media that told all that, I can imagine the emotion was going in them where they found that out. Hey Jay, my brother. Hey, I'm sorry, man, this happened to you. You one of them fathers that's rare that I hear got something going on for today. You play for football down here in Tennessee. You play football. Love you got things going for yourself. But now I do have a question for you if you ever hear this, if you don't mind me asking. What happened between you and the baby mom? You know, why weren't y'all not together, or whatever the case may have been, or how involved was you in the child's life? You know, I'm just curious about that if you ever hear this. You know, I would like to know that, you know. And also, I'd like to know from you, did she ever talk to you about this dude or about his behavior or anything like that? And if she did do it, you know, I mean, what was your intake on it? You know, I would like to know that. All right. Let me check out one more thing, guys. The family has released a statement, and here's what the statement says. We are heartbroken over the loss of our beautiful daughter, granddaughter, cousin, niece, and big sister. Wynter Cole Smith. Wynter's brief but bright life was taken from her unnecessarily, and we will grieve her death forever. We wish to thank the FBI, all law enforcement, all volunteers, and the Doc Ellis Foundation to their assistance, compassion, and professionalism. And remember, Wynter, we believed that it is necessary to help make sure that this kind of tragedy never again touches any other family anywhere. We ask the state legislator and government, Whitmer, to consider legislation that further ensures that multiple violent offenders, which is Trice, he's a multiple violent offender. And the mom says, honestly, she don't think he had nothing to do with that child. Mom don't know what you're smoking on, but leave it alone, baby. That they remain in jail or prison as they are tragically a threat to us all. I agree with that. The family, now people say I get this word wrong. Y'all tell me if I'm saying this right. The family is planning is it vigil or vigil? Somebody tell me if I'm saying it right. Is it vigil or vigil? People say I be saying it wrong. Sometimes people say I say it right. Is it vigil or vigil? In Wynter's memory of tomorrow evening, Friday, July the 7th at 6 p.m., and we welcome the public to pray with us. A vigil or vigil will be held at 6 p.m. Friday, July the 7th at Nodell Street and Urban Avenue in Detroit, which is near First Church of the Redeemer of Van Dyke Avenue. The family said members of the public are welcome. You got to tell me number one, number two. Okay, somebody said number. Okay, which one I said? Okay, Vigil's number one, vigil's number two. So which one was right? Was it number one or number two? Vigil number one, vigil number two. My man AFC Podcast and Ben, what's up, bro? Appreciate you being here. Okay, so I say the first. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I always get discrepancies about when I say that word. Guys, I'm sorry. That's my time. I want to go deeper into this. But again, ladies and gentlemen, please understand my message. And my message is to the young generation. Young ladies, young men, be careful who you are letting around your children. Be careful. Don't be afraid to speak. If not anything, your child's safety should come first. I'm talking to you, young generation. Your child's safety should come first. If anything else, your child's safety come first. If people get mad because you want to let them around your children, let them be. They'll get over it. Because that's your child. That's your pride and your possession. And you should do everything to protect your pride and your possession. All right? So people get mad, let them get mad. Trouble don't last always, like they say. They'll get over it. It's all about them. It's all about them. And y'all dating outside, if they get mad because you won't let them come to the house, which I don't understand. Which I don't understand is, I mean, I didn't understand it at first, but I had to grow up and understand it. Because I used to be one of the knuckleheads, want to go see a honey dip. She'd be like, I can't let you come over here, come my children over here. I mean, your children should be in bed this certain time. Nigga, I don't care if they in bed or not. You're not coming over here. I used to be one of them knuckleheads to get mad. But as you get older, you understand why they want you over there. Because of shit like this. That's why. I'm not letting on any and every Tom, Dick, Harry come over my house when my child is here. Now, my child is gone. You know, hey, you come on over here. We're going to do what we're going to do. But I'm not going to let my child see random people running in and out my house. All right? Because I'd be damned if I let any one of y'all have access to my child and do something to my children. I had to understand that. And I understand it even more as I get older. So I'm talking to you, to the young generation. Man, y'all got to chill out, man. And I hear some of y'all out here talk. You young girls out here, you the hot-ass girls, how y'all be talking. How y'all gonna drop y'all children out to random people if one person don't want to watch them? How you got all these people you can call it to watch your child because you weren't gonna do something? No, fuck that. Because even your friends or these different other people who you think your friends and close to you can do the same damn thing that this fool done to Wynter. I did a show a long time ago. This girl was friends with a pregnant girl. She let this girl babysit her child. And she said she felt something was off because the baby acted funny every time she leave the baby with that girl. Put a camera in the house. The girl was sitting there slapping that girl all upside her head, talking crazy to her and everything. This supposed to be her friend. And crazy part about it, the girl who was doing that to her child, she was pregnant with a child. I said, ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? So I'm talking to the young generation, man. Come on now. Watch your babies. Watch your babies. Watch your babies. Guys, when I get a chance, I'm going to come back and pick up some more on this story, all right? On your man, Chris Thorne. Thank you for listening. Catch y'all next time. Peace out.